Hello students, welcome back to our social studies session. So students, in today's session, we will be studying our geography, chapter number 5, major domains of the earth. The aims and objectives of this chapter are, we'll be studying about the lithosphere, we'll study about the hydrosphere, and we'll understand what you mean by the atmosphere, the biosphere, which is the major domain of the life, and at last, the continents and the oceans. So class, we have divided this chapter into 5 broad topics so that you can understand it better. So the first topic is that the domains of the earth, the lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and the biosphere. So let us start with our first topic, that is the domains of the earth. First, let us understand the importance of the earth. You all know that earth is the only planet which supports life on it. And this is why, because the life sustaining elements which we need, like air, water, and land, they are present on the earth in the correct proportion. And the surface of the earth is very complex, in which the components of the earth meet and interact with each other, and due to this, life is possible. So, there are 4 domains, that is lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and the biosphere. The word origin of these words are very similar. All come from the Greek word. Lithosphere come with the Greek word lithos, which means stone. Hydrosphere comes with the Greek word hydr, which means water. Atmosphere comes with the Greek word atmos, which means vapor. Biosphere comes with the Greek word bios, which means life. So you all get the idea with the origin of this word that it is very similar to what? They are very similar to stone, water, vapor, and the life. Now let us start with lithosphere. What is lithosphere? The solid portion of the earth is called lithosphere. And what are the features of lithosphere? It is made up of the rocks which we find on Earth's crust. It is also has a thin layer of soil which contains nutrients, and these nutrients are very important because they support organism, plants, microbes, small bacteria which help the plants. They all are present in the soil because of the presence of these nutrients. And the surface of the earth has 2 main divisions, ocean basin and the continents. It means if we find it on both an ocean basin and on the continents also. You all know that oceans are the huge water bodies on the earth's surface, and the continents are the large land masses on earth's surface. So it means lithosphere is under the water also, and under the land also. Lithosphere support oceans and continental crust also. But there is a different under the layer of both. That is why we divide them into 2 categories. So let us understand, let us study first about the ocean basin. All the oceans in the world are connected with each other. Their water is being merged into one another. And most interesting thing is that level of seawater all over the world is the same everywhere. Elevation of the land is measured from the level of the sea, which is taken as 0. But the depth of the ocean is different. It is not necessary that the depth of the ocean is same. And the depth point of the ocean in the world is 1122 meters deep and we call the place is Mariana Trench, and we find this at Pacific Ocean. Now, let us move further to the next topic, that is continents. Yes, there are 7 major continents: Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia, and the Antarctica. These continents are separated by the large water bodies, but the major part of the land lies in the northern hemisphere. Now, let us know the major point of each continent. Starting with Asia. You know why we are going to start with the Asia? Because it is the largest continent. It covers the 1/3 of the land of the world. It is located in the eastern hemisphere. The Tropic of Cancer also passes through this continent, and Asia is separated from Europe by the Ural Mountains on the west. Next is Europe. Europe is much smaller than Asia, and in fact, it is the second smallest continent. It lies to the west of Asia, and the Arctic Circle passes through Europe. Arctic Circle means 66.5 degrees north. Europe is surrounded by water bodies on the 3 sides, and the combined land mass of Europe and Asia is called Eurasia. Next is Africa. It is the second largest continent after Asia. It is very important because the equator or the 0 degree latitude run almost through the middle of this continent, and it is the only continent through which equator, the Tropic of Cancer, and the Tropic of Capricorn, all three passes. There is no other continent like this. And the large part of the Africa lies in the northern hemisphere. And Africa is also bound on all the sides of oceans and the seas. The world largest hot desert, that is Sahara Desert. It is also located in the Africa. The world's longest river, Nile, it flows through Africa. Next, we move further to the North America. It is the third largest continent after Asia and Africa. It is connected to the South America by the narrow stripe of land, which is called Isthmus of Panama. It lies completely in the northern and western hemisphere, and it is surrounded by 3 oceans, that is Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and the Arctic Ocean. Below the North America, South America lies, and it lies mostly in the southern hemisphere. It is surrounded on the east by the Atlantic Ocean and on the west by the Pacific Ocean. And here, the world's largest mountain range, which is Andes Mountain, is found here. And the South America has the world's largest river, that is Amazon. Next is Australia. It is the smallest continent in the world, and it lies completely in the southern hemisphere. It is surrounded on all the sides by the oceans and seas, and that is why it is called an island continent. The last and interesting continent is Antarctica. It is a huge continent, and it is completely lies in the southern hemisphere. And the South Pole lies almost at the center of Antarctica. As it is located in the South Polar region, therefore it is permanently covered with thick ice sheets. Because of this ice sheet, there is no permanent human settlement there. Many countries have research stations in the Antarctica. India has also 2 research stations here. First is Maitri, and the second one is Dakshin Gangotri. It is the important domain of the earth because it proves that the earth is called as the blue planet. Because more than 71% of the earth is covered with water and only 29% is with land. So the water covers a big area of the earth's surface and this area is called hydrosphere. Hydrosphere consists of water in all its form. For example, as running water in oceans and rivers, and in lakes, ice in glaciers, underground water, and the water vapor in the atmosphere, all comprises the hydrosphere. Class, as we all know that our earth is covered with 71% of water, then why do we are going to face with the shortage of water? Because 97% of the earth's water is found in the oceans and it is too salty for the humans to use, and that is why it is not appropriate for the use as it is. Now, the water which is left, I mean, apart from the salty water, it is found in the form of ice sheets and glaciers or underground. And at least a very small percentage is available as the fresh water for human use. So don't waste water, class. Hence, despite being a blue planet, we face a shortage of water. The major part of hydrosphere is made from the oceans. So oceans are very important and there are some features of oceans like they all are interconnected. The ocean waters are always moving. It is not still. And the movement of the water is basically of three types: waves, tides, and the ocean currents. And there are five major oceans in the world. The Pacific Ocean, it is the largest ocean, then the Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean, and at last the Arctic Ocean. Let us start with the Pacific Ocean. It is the largest ocean and it covers one third of the earth. It is almost circular in shape and it is surrounded with the continents like Asia, Australia, North and South America. Next is Atlantic Ocean. It is the second largest ocean in the world and it is S-shaped. It is the busiest ocean of the world. You know why? Because the coastline of the Atlantic Ocean is highly intended, and this irregular and intended coastline provides ideal location for natural harbor and the ports. Therefore, this ocean is good for trade and commerce, and that is why it is the busiest ocean in the world. And it is surrounded by the North and South America on the west side and Europe and Africa on the east side. Third is Indian Ocean. This is the only ocean which named after a country and that is India. And the shape of this ocean is almost triangular. In the north, it is bounded by Asia. In the west, it is bounded by Africa. And in the east, by Austria. Next is Southern Ocean. This ocean encircles the continents of Antarctica and, it extends to 60° south latitude. Last but not the least, Arctic Ocean. It is the smallest ocean. It is located in the Arctic Circle and surrounds the North Pole. It is connected with the Pacific Ocean through the Bering Strait. It is bounded by the north coast of the North America and the Eurasia. The next topic is atmosphere. Earth is surrounded by a layer of gas. The gaseous layer that surrounded the earth is known as the atmosphere. It consists of oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and many other gases. So this thin blanket of air is very important for our planet because it provides the air we breathe, and it is also protect us from harmful effect of sun rays. Its basic features are it extends up to the height of 1600 kilometers, and basically it is divided into 5 layers based on different factors, that is composition, temperature, and other properties. Means all these layers are different from each other. Based on them, what are the layers of the earth? First is troposphere. It is the closest to the earth. Next is stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and at last exosphere. Most important thing is that our atmosphere is composed mainly of nitrogen and oxygen. These two gases are found in the large proportion in our atmosphere. They together make up about 99% of clean, dry air, and the percentage of nitrogen is 78%, and oxygen is 21%, and other gases like carbon dioxide, argon, etc. is only 1%. You all know about oxygen. That is a gas which supports life. Nitrogen is also very important. It helps in the growth of living organism, especially in plants. Nitrogen plays a very important role. Third, carbon dioxide. It is a very important gas as it is present in a very small proportion. It is very important because it absorbs heat and which is radiated by the earth. And class, it keeps the planet warm, and it is also essential for the growth of the plant. It helps in the process of photosynthesis. More important aspects of atmosphere are density, temperature, and pressure. So the density of the atmosphere is maximum at the sea level. And as we go up, the density will decrease. So that we can say that the density of the atmosphere varies from the height. It is not constant, and class temperature also decreases with the height. Now let us understand pressure of atmosphere. Atmosphere exerts pressure on the earth. It differs from a place to place. At some place, the pressure of the atmosphere is high, and on the some areas, the pressure of the atmosphere is low. And remember class, air moves from high pressure to low pressure, and the movement of air is known as the wind. Now we come to the last part of our chapter, that is biosphere. It is a narrow zone where we find the land, water, and air together. And that is why biosphere contains life. As we all know, class, that we, the living beings, required land, air, water, all these things. So the land, air, and water, they interact with each other and life is possible there. Most interesting thing is that biosphere is only found on the earth, and there are various species of organism and bacteria to huge mammals are also found here. So we all living beings and all these organisms, we all are dependent on the biosphere to survive. So class, here we end up with this chapter. Thank you. Bye-bye.